What's going on, guys? We're going to do the state of the market today. We're going to run through it, and then we have our boys and girls on Discord here ready to bring up some stocks that we can take a look at. Today we're solely focused, dyslexic here, on base breakouts and trend breaks. So we're going to go through the market, and then I'm going to go through maybe a few of the things that I traded today and some of the trend breaks, the most important ones like NVIDIA's trend break that one of our good friends, John Hammer, actually brought up just the other day that I did not take. Some of these I had a hard time getting into, especially today, guys. Unless you were in it yesterday, these things, you were getting in a fear of missing out trade. But if you guys made money today, I'm happy for you. I'm not going to give you too much shit. So let's just jump right into this, guys. We're going to start with the S&P 500. Why? Because that's what I recommend everybody following. That's what I follow, you know. Now, I called out this morning if the CPI comes in hotter than expected, meaning we were seeing higher inflationary consumer price index, that we were going to head lower. And if we came out lower, that we were going to break all-time highs and that we were going to continue higher because of that fear of missing out. I could probably bring it up and just put it in front of you and read it to you, but I think everybody was here when I said it. Right here. Looking for the SPY to come down. If we get lower than expected CPI, we might just have to head through right here, guys. If we see a lower than expected CPI, we might head through the all-time highs today. If that happens, you will see a lot of fear of missing out buying today. That's my two reactions. So lower will move higher, higher will move lower, and that was pretty much, you know, and then I just gave you a few tickers you could look at. Silver, wow, ripped to the sky. BAC, I couldn't find my way in. DJT, we threw in a small cap in there, a little crazier trade in there for you. That did break out, and then it broke right back down. I actually tried to play this. I lost a very small amount on that, but it was worth a nice little small cap try, if you will. So right here is the S&P 500. You can see that's exactly what happened in pre-market. This thing rip, tater chip to the north side. It broke out higher, and then we just never look back. This is the hourly. If we look on the 5-minute, you can see we really didn't do much except for come back down, retest this area, said just kidding, hold my beer, and rip to the north side, and we have not stopped. The only real actionable thing that I held all day was AMAT and Google. So I caught a nice piece of it. I made, you know, my goal every day is $500. I made a little over that. I made about $700 today. But again, like I was telling some of the guys that were in here early, I'm not happy with my process. I'm never happy. I think if I won $20,000 today, I would say, hey, I could have did better, you know. But that's the winner's mindset. We want to keep on figuring out what we can do better so we can obtain bigger and greater things. Next up is the QQQ. It did the same damn thing, guys. I'm not going to repeat myself. Rip, tater chip. We broke new all-time highs. That tech-heavy sector is looking good. This is always nice to see, guys. We want to see these small caps start to get higher. That's going to be your more speculative small and mid-cap stocks. The Russell 2000s going up, and away. I absolutely love to see this. NASDAQ, same thing. It is a leader in the market, as well as the S&P 500 and the QQQs. Dow Jones Industrial also moved up 0.88% today. That reached all-time highs as well. So we are seeing that breadth in the market, at least in the indices. RSP, you're going to see close to the same thing. Now, it has not made those new all-time highs. We are having a lagging in certain sectors, right? So we know that we're doing good in the healthcare, the biotechs. We're doing good in chips, health technology, different technologies. Builders, there's a lot of things that are doing really well right now. And I hardly mentioned all of them, but there's a lot of things out there that are doing really well right now. And also, guys, I have chat open now, so in case you need to say anything and you don't want to say another thing. VIX Volatility Index, this thing is just drowning, right? It's drowning, and that's what we want to see. This is the fear gauge. It's all the way down here at 1245. We didn't even get that. You guys, I was telling you, I wanted to see a pullback. I've been dying to get a pullback from the S&P 500. We didn't get that pullback, and I'm going to save all the rest of these, okay? Because I'm going to go over a few other things in just a second, but I don't want to go through every single stock on this. But VIX Volatility is just drowning. The only thing that I did just to put my money where my mouth was today is I ended up adding the rest of those shares. I told you guys I had 7 grand that I wanted to end up putting back into this market. You can see on our way down here, I added a share, added 2 shares down here, added a share here, and this is my long-term investing. I want to show you guys it's important to long-term invest. It's always smart to do that. Obviously, not a lot of us have all the capital in the world to have a swing trade account and a small caps account and a long-term investing account. I'm blessed enough to have a little extra money on the side that we can use for this. So I wanted to show you how I was doing it. So I added in all down here, all through these lows. And then when we finally reached this all-time new high, I did it. I pulled the trigger and I ended up buying the rest of my shares. So I hold 10 shares up here at this area, and we hold another 6 shares laid out through here. It brings my average to 477. So right in this area, which is nice. So I'll just show you on the active trader throughout this pull out and where we're at right now. We've made $74 on the day, and we're up $159 in total, holding 16 shares. It's roughly a little over 7,000. We got about 7,734 as of this morning. So we're a little over 7,000 in the long-term VOO, and we have another 18 shares of the VTI. So that way you guys at least know and understand that I am doing a long-term investing trading account. That's on the side. That's aside from the swing trading. That is for the future. I hope to pass these shares on to my children one day. You know, it's something like that long term. Okay, so that's just sitting in there. And but I want you guys to see how to do it. You know, I want you guys to understand and learn. So now we're going to jump right into it. That only took 8 minutes, guys. Rip, tater chip. We are risk on, baby. The market's screaming to the north side. Now, we are extended. That's the only thing that you guys didn't hear me say yet in the S&P 500. When you see extension like this, you're eventually going to get a pullback. Eventually, it's going to come back and start riding. These don't go straight up, guys. So whether this starts to just trade sideways now or pulls back and comes back and retests this breakout area, or it gradually goes up while these moving averages catches up, kind of like you see over here. I don't know what's going to happen. But what I do know is we are in a risk-on state. I'm going to wipe my tears that I didn't call my financial advisor this morning and tell him get me the rest of my money in. I'm only about half invested after I exited out after we broke the 21-day moving average. But that's okay. We're still making money. Still could be making a lot more. That's the story. That's my story, guys. I'm sticking to it. All right, so let's bring up a few things. Now, we talked about this CADL. Shout out to you, Adam. Adam brought up this CADL. Actually, I believe it was it's either Adam or Holy Diver. I think it was Adam that brought the CADL out. We ended up getting a breakout today on CADL. Unfortunately, some of us could not actually get into this. We had a little bit of an issue here simply because, oh, that looks yucky. Hang on, guys. Let me fix this for you. Here we go. We'll blow this up. We had a bit of an issue here because on this breakout, some of us couldn't get in because it just took off just way too fast. But you can see here, this is exactly what we want to see, this huge volume coming in at the breakout area. You could use this bottom day of as risk. It was even okay to use previous day low as risk, but either way, wherever you decided to risk, this is a beautiful move. Low of day, we found out you'd be up about 8.5, 9 R right now. So this was a beautiful trade. I did end up playing this. I only made a little bit of money on this. I didn't have a lot of conviction because I missed the breakout trade, but we made about $138 in this stock. This just had a breakout, and then look at this. This is an intraday trend break, okay? Also known as an accumulation long, I like to call these, where you have a base that's creating some new higher lows. New higher lows. And then you have this breaking down here, which is creating new lower highs, which creates a very tight area and then gives you an answer whether you're right or wrong immediately. So you either break out on volume and you get in here and you hold on, or it breaks down right after you get in and you're stopped out immediately. So this right here, even if you were just playing to this high of day, you still have a 1 to 2 risk reward on this. But if you wanted to hold for the bigger picture, knowing that you have this beautiful base breakout, you can hold for the bigger picture. And that's exactly what we did here. So we made a little bit of money on this. Let's take a look at AVGO. The reason why I'm bringing up AVGO, because I want to tell you guys where I messed up on AVGO. This is a beautiful trend break here. Why did I mess up on AVGO? Because I actually oversized into AVGO. And I want to bring up this mistake, not just for you guys to learn from, but I need to let's just act like I know what word I'm trying to say, but I'm trying to keep it in my head. So next time I go to do this, I only took 4 shares of this, but 4 shares can be pretty volatile in a stock that, is sitting around $1,325, right? So when it's starting to fluctuate, a couple $100 here and there, you start holding your breath. You don't want this thing to gap down on you. Sure, I have a stop loss, but after it broke out here, I was just oversized. I wanted to hold on to this thing for the bigger picture, and I ended up getting out on this thing when it pulled back. I can't remember now if I made a little bit or I lost a little bit, or maybe I brought my stop up too soon to break even. Either way, guys, what I want to say is make sure you understand the full risk. This should have not been getting out until this low of day, 13.13. If I took this breakout around 13.25, I wanted to use this low, okay? So I should still be in this stock, and I'm not. And why would I want to be in Broadcom? Why does it seem random? Because it's one of the largest stocks in the communication sector, and that is a hot sector right now. It's been a hot sector for a past couple weeks, along with many other sectors. So I missed out on AVGO. KLAC, I pointed this out. Actually, I did not point this out. I found this one this morning. This is going to look a lot like AMAT, only this is a lot cleaner base breakout. You can see right here, you have a very clean base right here, and it pushed up through in the pre-market. Actually, the previous day it pushed up through, but then in pre-market, it just continued to ramp, never looked back. This thing is a beautiful breakout, guys. This is kind of what we're looking for here, where it comes up and it touches multiple times, it gets tight, and then it breaks out. So we got that. We don't need to look at GME. NVIDIA. So this looks like a lot of lines here, guys, but I want to explain to you why. If you see this line here, you can see this is a base. This is multiple areas, not a base, but more of resistance, where you can see there's multiple areas of resistance here. So I drew this line just to kind of help orientate myself with where the stock was according to this area of resistance, because this is where we had that failure. This is a trend that it broke through, came back down and retested, and started a new trend on the upside. And then if you zoom in here, you can see, look at this. This trend on top of that resistance area, right? So if it is resistance, when it breaks up above resistance, it comes back down and retests, and it holds above it, then that is acting as support. Then we had this nice breakout the previous day. I did not get into this. John Hammer actually brought this up. I don't think he's even in this. He's not even with us today. And I've given him 2 shout outs. Look at that. Look at this, guys. Beautiful run up. Now, of course, earnings is coming up, so it's not, it's not anything, that I really want to hold on to. I did talk about NVIDIA. I just said it's going to stay within this range. It's going to stay within a range here. I don't think it's going to break or get above new all-time highs. Really didn't even expect it to break above 922. But hey, that's the market for you. It doesn't always do what you want it to. So keep that in mind. PSTG, oh my gosh. Guys, like this one we talked about, what was that, Monday? Adam, when did we talk about PSTG? Because I think you and I had a little chat about this, how it wasn't as clean, and I was bringing it up because it looked a lot like what you watch, but the base is more here rather than at all-time highs.
Yeah.
So I think that was Monday,
I think it was
right?
Was it Monday? Maybe Tuesday. I don't know. But yeah, it looks really good now.
Yeah. Hindsight, right? Hindsight's 2020, baby. But yeah, no, PTSG, this was Pure Storage. It's been a leader for a while now. This thing, had a few bases where it's pushed up off of, and then earnings, it showed that it was very fruitful, definitely beating earnings just blew it out of the water. Now we have earnings coming up next month here, it looks like on the 29th. No, that's this month. So at the end of this month, it has earnings coming out. But if you were to take this base breakout, guys, that's another beautiful one. It starts getting tight. This is what we call 3 inside days tight. You have this, well, technically it's 2 inside days, but you have this day, then you have this inside day, which is inside of the previous day, and then you have this closing inside this previous day. So it's getting really, really tight here. That's the tight price action we want to see before we get a bigger expected move like you see here. The volume came in, it was thick, it was strong, and that's what you want to see in one of these leaders. Just a beautiful trade here, guys. So let's take a look at a few that might still be setting up, okay? And then that's when I'm going to turn it over to you guys, okay? And I might be able to do this in 20 minutes. So I'm going to give you guys a few that I'm watching that might end up being formidable in the near future. This is Toast. I have no idea what Toast does, and just while we're on the subject, let's look up Toast, T-O-S-T. And Toast is technology service, packaged software. So this is another one kind of like what you were looking at earlier. Toast engages in the development and provision of consumer payment applications for restaurants. And now we both know restaurants isn't a hot sector, although if we look at restaurants, they did not take a lot of that money today. So restaurants might not be as hot of a sector as we were paying attention to it in the past couple of weeks, guys. So you need to pay attention to that too, because the restaurant sector, I've been preaching it for the past month now. And now today, where did all the money go? Not in the restaurant sector, okay? The restaurant sector is just kind of trading sideways. Now, you'll see these a lot of the times in these sectors. You'll see the money come, and you'll see the money be stagnant, and then it'll come back into it, okay? So it'll kind of like wash back and forth. But it's something to pay attention to, right? If we start pulling back when the market gets hot, that's an issue. But we just traded sideways in a lot of these restaurant businesses, so just keep that in mind. So TOST, it's got a relative strength rating to the market at 95. And right here, it's right at that breakout area. It's actually above its breakout area. Now, the thing with this is, though, is that it's really extended from its moving day averages. So if I bring up your moving day averages down here for you guys, you can see right here, we're getting a lot of these inside days. That looks nice, but it's just too extended for me to want to get a hold of this. If this thing were to rip down and grab on the 10-day moving average and retest the base breakout, that might be something to take a look at. ONON, also after those earnings, the earnings weren't anything crazy. They are showing that they're profitable. But if the sneaker companies start doing well and this thing wants to hold for the 10-day and 21-day moving averages to catch up, it'd be nice to see a base or a trend show up there. And I could go on forever, guys, because there's a lot of setups going on. But I really want to turn it over to you guys. I really want to get I want to get you guys involved. I know in the chat here we have aerospace. Now, B. Stewie has been watching aerospace for quite some time. And look at this, guys. So aerospace, AVAV, absolutely beautiful. Beautiful fucking freaking move here. Woohoo! Almost let that one slip. Beautiful move here. Beautiful move. And there's nothing I can do with this, right? Because it's so far extended from the 10 and 21-day moving averages. But you can tell by looking at this chart, it is a very hot sector, okay? They're using drones in a lot of your aerospace defense, meaning they're using a lot of those drones in the war right now, the war in Ukraine. Right now, they're actually using this company, I believe it is. And then there is there's PPA, yeah, PPA, and I think there was one more that you were looking at too. I think I have that somewhere on my watch list. I probably could find that really quick. HWM, yeah, so HWM is another very, very nice leader in this sector too. So if you guys are looking at those sectors, AVAV, PPA, and HWM are all very hot, but it's not something that we can deal with right now. The potato's too hot. We gotta toss it. We gotta come back later and pick it up. So that's a very good one to bring up, B. Stewie. Thank you. And B. Stewie, the fact that I don't look at these enough, I want you to keep an eye on these, because now you're training your eye for those base breakouts, for those trend breakouts. So if you can do that and then bring up the stock and say, hey, there's a trend on this hot sector, you know what I mean? That would be awesome, dude, because these are all hot. These are all looking good. Dan Bob says GM and the mama. Mama! All right, don't leave because my singing, guys. Sorry. So GM, yeah, look at this, guys. It's got a nice base right here. Now, this is a slower mover at 2%. The more I play these slower movers, the more I just think, why not? I've been preaching for so long. We want to be 4%. and above on the average daily range. But honestly, if you have a good breakout, these bases can really move. You're going to get a bigger move than 2% on these base breakouts. You know what I mean? I mean, just look at this move here when it broke this area. You got
Alley's
five.
a good example.
What's
Sorry,
that?
man.
No,
Alley's a
please.
good example.
Oh, A L
Alley.
L Y. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's
we're gonna
like a
come back to
2%.
GM. Yeah, it's a 2% mover, 2.2% mover, and it had this trend break here. And let's just measure this. And it moved. Well, it moved 2.3% on its break, but that's still a good mover. You know, it's still making you money. It's not just chopping around. You're actually grabbing it at the breakout. So ALOY is looking good. But back to GM though, guys. This GM has a nice base breakout here, and the thing is it's okay to be in these slower movers, especially if you're newer, right? If you're newer to this, man, why not take a slower mover so you can learn, so you can not have that huge volatility. Just know if you're in something that moves 30% a day, that means whatever amount of money you have in there is going to move 30% a day. You're going to hold your breath half the day. You're not going to be able to work or sleep or do anything depending on how much risk you end up taking, you know? So GM's looking good. I like this. I'm going to go ahead and set my alert here. Good eye on that, Dan Bob. I really like that one. So this is exactly what we're looking for, guys. We're looking for these nice tight bases. Now, one thing I do want to bring up, and you might hear me say this a few times, is GM did not move today. So why didn't it move? If everything's getting money today, if you look at the S&P 500, and the S&P 500 has this huge push, and everybody's getting a little piece of that pie, why didn't GM get a piece of that pie? You know, there's reasons. There's reasons there. And so that's one reason just to keep in the back of your head when it breaks out. Really watch for those false breakouts. Next is Mama. Ooh, look at that. Mama. All right, I'm done singing today, guys. This is a nice little trend breakout. I kind of like that. Adam, I think this will remind you of kind of what we were playing in January on those biotechs. And what is Mama? Let's take a look. All right, Mama, consumer non-durable. Okay, so this is more of a cyclical, but Mama Creations engages in the marketing, manufacturing, and distribution of beef balls with sauce. Of course you'd be watching this one, Dan Bob. Beef balls with sauce, he says, I'm all in. Turkey meatballs with sauce, beef, meatloaf, sauces and peppers, chicken parmigiana, bellissimo, and other similar meats and sauces. That sounds, now I'm hungry. Thanks a lot, Dan Bob. Dan Bob with the meatballs. He's going all in. So I like Mama. I like the stock too. But remember the 3-leg rule, guys. This thing has had many legs. Keep that in mind too. It's not really a rule. It's just kind of a saying. You know, when you see all these legs up, 1, 2, 3, this might be the final push. You know, but that's not to say. That's not to say. If this thing has good fundamentals, it's got good price action. You can't argue with that. This is a beautiful trend break, bouncing off that 10-day moving average. I like it, and I think that's a great stock to keep on your watch list. Definitely. So Holy Divers in here saying SINT. Jack Kellogg made a huge trade on this one. Okay. Jack Kellogg is one of the traders that have followed the penny stock guru. What's the penny stock guru's name? Everybody knows it. If you look up anything in trading, he's in there. What's his name? Help me out, guys.
Like Ross?
No, not Ross. Although he is a penny stock guru though. What was that?
You meant Tim Sykes?
Yeah, that's it. Tim Sykes.
Yep.
Dude, when we first started in on this, my wife wanted to learn trading with me. She went down the Tim Sykes route, and I went down the Stephen Ducks route. And that's actually how I ended up finding Holy Diver. But dude, she like paid for one of his courses, and I had to listen to Tim Sykes in this household for weeks and weeks and weeks, and oh my gosh, I hated it. I hate his stupid voice. And I don't mean that to be mean. It's
I
just
bought one of his courses and I refunded it in like 30 minutes.
Oh, did you? I feel like the first hour or 2 hours is just him telling you to study. You know, just study.
Yeah,
And it's like, give me something to study, damn it.
The same stuff you see on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. You can. That's why, guys. That's why I say everything here is for free, because everything that I have found. Now, I've paid for a few things here and there. I've paid for books and audio. I have paid for a few Discords before. But I'm telling you right now, everything that you can find, you can find for free. Everything that you can pay for, you can find for free one way or another, as long as you're looking hard enough. And if you need something, you just ask. There's plenty of guys in this this course here. We can pretty much outsource everything for you. We absolutely do our best to try and at least keep you on the right path, okay? So keep that in mind. Aside from obviously books and stuff, we don't want to plagiarize anybody's stuff, although there are ways to do that. I do not condone to that in any way. So SINT, so
Yeah, Dave, check the intraday of yesterday. That's what he entered.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's take a little
Mm-hmm.
peeky gander. I'll do it on my other chart here.
I also played it
Intraday.
today in the intraday.
Oh, okay. So we get these nice pushes up. Oh, right here. That's nice. So I like that. So this is what I call an accumulation long, where you get a big push up here. Now, guys, this is a penny stock, okay? This thing moves 29%. This is what I call a rip your face off stock, or a make or break your account stock. So when we look at these, just understand this isn't typical. This isn't something that I say, this is what you guys need to be looking for. Now, this is one that if you did have a smaller account and you learned how to trade these on very small risk, right? You're not risking your whole account. You're not trying to get rich. You're literally learning how to do this. You can. There's ways to do that with, a very small account, a couple $100. You could really turn this account around with these. So I don't mind looking at these, but also I want you to understand the inherent risk that come with these, what I call shit stocks, okay? So SINT, and Holy Diver knows that too. He knows that when he plays these, that they're shit stocks, and he's getting in and getting out of these just as quick. So when we look at these, just understand the inherent risk. What I like about this,
These are
though,
definitely not long-term investment. It's like a very short swing of a few days, even
yes, sir.
30 minutes.
Hell, I learned a lot of this from you guys, Diver, when I first joined your
Mm-hmm.
Discord. You know what I mean? So this is actually right out of Trade the Matrix book. You remember Trade the Matrix? You actually
Oh
brought
yeah,
Trade the Matrix in for a talk with us in the Discord, which was really awesome, man. I totally forgot about that until now. So we have a big push up here and a pullback. And this pullback, I call this an accumulation long. Why? Because they are accumulating shares in this area. So here's the volume. You can see the volume. It pulls back. It holds most of its gains. And then it's creating new higher lows right here, okay? And then it creates new lower highs right here. So it funnels this area into, now this isn't gonna look the prettiest, but I'm just gonna try and show you guys. It funnels this into a nice tight area, just like this, okay? This doesn't look as pretty because a lot of times these highs will come up a little higher. So it's not a perfect accumulation, but this is an accumulation long. And then when it breaks out of this area, you take this, okay? And then you risk either the previous candle's low, which I'm using the 5-minute, or you use the base of the day, depending on what your risk strategy is and what you're expecting to get out of this stock. This stock ended up rip tater chip to the north side. Obviously, if you just held overnight, you woke up a happy man. So this is absolutely beautiful. And Kellogg is a really good trader. I listened to his story a few different times. And it's just kind of funny. It's kind of funny. And then all of a sudden he gets a girlfriend who can make millions, It's like, man, I'll be your girlfriend. Teach me, bro. But no, congratulations to the both of them, of course. I want to see everybody doing well. You know what I mean? I'd never hate on anybody. So, so what else we got? We got Dell. I'm sorry, Holy Diver, did you want to go over any more of that before I carry on?
No, I think basically what he did yesterday, it did today too, just in a smaller scale.
This here?
But it's very, yeah,
Oh no,
it
that's
just
today. You mean yesterday? This day I was talking about?
yeah, yesterday it consolidated the entire day, and then right before 4 p.m.
Uh-huh.
it had some sort of like a push and then a hold with higher lows, almost like a small flag.
So are you
That's
talking about
exactly
on the
what it did today.
14th, right? You're talking about on the 14th?
Um,
Just as I explained it, right?
yeah, basically yesterday.
Okay, yeah. So
14th,
so
yeah,
the flag that I was explaining, I just wanted to make sure that I covered
yeah.
okay. All right,
You
perfect.
know, I think MIC calls it zombie hour
Oh,
when
yeah,
there's like a lot of strength and then it doesn't fade all the way till the afternoon. It
Okay.
breaks and then hold, and then it squeezes everybody. And it did the same today, just less follow through.
Okay.
So I personally
Nice.
took a trade around like 2 p.m.
I
for that
have
thing.
heard of Zombie Hour before, but I never actually looked into it. I
Yeah, because
think the
we were short sellers
yeah, exactly.
back in duality. So I know all those short squeezes, and I'm trying to play them on the long side now.
Very cool. Zamora, did you have something that you wanted to add or something that you wanted to say?
On
No,
sync,
I'm
no.
just listening.
What was that, Zamora? I'm sorry.
Not doing good.
Okay, fine.
It's nice. I like it.
All
I like it. It
right,
has really
cool.
good pattern.
Okay, perfect. We got B Stewie on the track with the bubble top 74 Impala baby. So DELL, yeah. Actually, this was brought up. This was brought up by Covey Adam. Adam looks like he's deafened, so he can't hear me now. I was gonna have him explain it, but basically, you have this top here, and you have this base breakout. Also, it's in a hot sector, and this thing did its thing. I mean, after it broke out of this area, and you can see here on intraday, after it broke out on volume, I mean, you can see the volume here, guys. That first volume blip. Oh, wow. I mean, that's beautiful. And then it just took off, never looked back. So it's looking really, really well. Really like to see Dell. Let's see, CRBP, Dan Bob's bringing up here. Ooh, look at that. So we got a nice push up here, a pullback, and then we have this base right at the top here. This isn't the cleanest looking thing, but it is nice. It's kind of surfing that 10-day moving average here. So it's looking pretty good. I wouldn't give this a 5-star setup, but I do like these where you get this big push, this pullback, and it just kind of, and now it's just getting tighter, and it's got this base. So if we do see, let's say I put a alert right here, and we see it come in on that 5 minute. Do you, Covey? Okay, yeah. Dan Bob just brought this up, and we see this break out on volume, on that 5 minute volume. If we can use the previous day or the same day's low, this might be a nice base breakout. Adam, do you got a couple that you want me to bring up, or a couple
Yeah,
that?
I got a few if you want to run through them.
Yeah,
I'm
why
just
don't
going back to CRBP though.
why don't you share
And
your screen for us, and you guys can click on his screen, and I will put you in front of my screen so it'll still be recorded on YouTube. Okay?
okay, I only got 5, but I'll be real quick.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. You got time, brother. So
All right, so CRBP, this one, the only thing I don't like is, like Dave said, just bringing it up is like everything moved today. Like it was a really crazy day in the market. And this thing actually it broke out and then it came back in. Now that's just something to watch for. To be honest, I would really like it to see it pull back to the 10-day and reset up again if we get a market pullback or whatever. But yeah, it does look really good. It just needs I'm feeling it just showing weakness with this overall move today. Then we have FTI. FTI is kind of slowly tightening up. It's building these higher lows. It's forming this real nice VCP pattern. If you don't know what VCP is, volatility contraction pattern, it's a Mark Minerini strategy. I would it's forming resistance around this 27, 25 area. And I would just, yeah, I'd have this on your watch list. It's looking really good. Setting up. CNX. I think Holy Diver brought this one up to me. And yeah, it's just been setting up. I think he brought it up to me or this group like a week ago. And it's just been setting up. It actually ran into this area resistance, tried to break it 2 days, and then sold off. So that's really nice to see because if it breaks out of this 1814 area with volume, it'll be a really nice breakout. And now we're finally starting to see this volume dry up. So that's also really nice to see.
I like that one. It's following that 30-day moving average really well too.
Yeah. It's looking really good. I threw pay sign up on here. I'm still holding a quarter of my position. I wanted to play a break. Sorry, a pullback buy here. So it's kind of something new I've been trying, but I didn't take it today because I didn't see any volume coming in. But pretty much how it works is it's like it pulls back three to 5 days, and it's supposed to go below the breakout area. So your breakout area was right here, and it never got below that. So I wouldn't keep that one on your list. And then DJT, it's the same sort of thing though. Everything moved today, and this thing didn't move. But don't get me wrong, it's getting really tight, and if it can find support on this 10-day and continue to build inside days, like
It's also its own beast too, right? It's not like
yeah,
in any, it's going to do what it wants to do anyway. So, but you still
yeah,
think DJT is still setting up then for you?
yeah. I
Okay.
really, I really like this area resistance right here. Like,
Yeah.
yes, it blew through it here, but then it came right back, and now it's like it tried to cross this area multiple times and just got peppered, right?
Now
And
it's just
now it's
getting tight.
finally getting tight, like finally getting tight. So, and it's a fast mover too at 13%, and this thing is um
I guess in pre-market it did move back up too. It's at 53.68 in pre-market. So,
53.68.
son of
Oh,
a
perfect.
biscuit. Yeah, I know, right? So it's right back up to those highs. But okay, I'm glad. I'm glad to see you're still keeping a close eye on that. I actually took it off my list today because it looked like it broke down. But that's probably the best time to get in. Right? Is when I decided to
Yeah,
take it off my watch list. So thank you for bringing that up, man.
yeah. That's I think that's pretty much all I have. There's nothing.
Okay.
There are some names that are finding support, like HRTX, but um, those five are like my main watches, and they're
Okay.
setting up the best. So yeah, that's all I got.
Well, thank you for that, brother. I really appreciate that. Um, so if you guys
Wait,
want,
any questions?
yeah,
Sorry,
that's
sorry for
that. Yeah,
going.
actually, yeah. You guys have any questions on that? Sorry about that. Let's check.
Golden.
Make sure you check the chat too. Holy Diver's bringing up ATRO, so we'll go ahead and bring up ATRO on our spot here. So ATRO. Oh yeah, that's got a nice push right there. Whoops, we got a nice push on this. I don't really know how to play this exactly, Holy Diver, on this, but it does. It's got a nice push here. I think you're probably looking at this base actually. That's what you're looking at. So this is a nice base breakout right here. Yeah, sorry I didn't see that right away. I think I was too zoomed out. But yeah, this has got a nice base right here, and you see it came up after earnings. It knocked its head right into that 1920 area. It pulled back, and look at this. It's following the 10-day moving average, and then boom, some volume came in, and it busted to the north side. Astronautics. So what the hell is ATRO? ATRO. Let's see what sector this is in. Electric technology, aerospace, and defense. Hey, there you go, B. Stewie. I would throw that on your watch list as well. Another aerospace defense in the provisions of electric power generation and distribution systems. It includes motion systems, light and safety systems, avionic productions, aircraft structures, system certifications, and automated test systems. So that's pretty cool. Definitely one that we can't do anything with it here, guys, because it's broken out and it's extended. But to keen your eye in on those base breakouts, and which we will have a learning day on those base breakouts very, very soon. Um, IBRX Mo Wealth. Mo
Oh, and
Wealth.
sorry, to add on this one,
Yes, please.
this is one of my favorite trades right now, and it's all of them look the same, even SI and T that we looked at.
Sure.
That last high that you see right there in your chart,
Uh huh.
the red candle, they could view up from there.
The
So that
anchored
base,
VWAP from there. So
yeah,
hang
the
on.
last base,
ATRO, and then you're saying this anchored VWAP, I'm assuming?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the previous high, we just grab the anchored VWAP and we throw it up here, and it's
You
showing
see how it breaks above it, holds higher highs.
yes.
This is one of my favorite trades.
Yeah, it breaks out through right
Nice.
here, and then it pulls back and it shows support, and then it breaks
Yep,
out even higher.
higher lows, I mean.
That's, dude, I'm telling you, I'm so happy somebody else uses this anchored VWAP because I was using it for a while and I loved it. I actually was showing you some of my trades on it, Holy and or Diver, and you were like, yeah, man, this is great. And reading Brian Shannon's book, I had to skim over a lot of the beginning parts of it, but I definitely recommend it, guys, if you're interested in this anchored VWAP. There's a lot to it. I mean, there's just a ton to anchored VWAP.
Wait.
Actually, we'll go over we'll go over a day of anchored VWAP, like a learning day. But go ahead,
Right.
Kobe, what you got?
Here's I have a question for Holy Diver. Would you consider that like a cup and handle, or like? Actually, I don't even think it would be a cup and handle.
No, you'd have to
more
look
just
at the
like
cup
That's
and
what I
handle on
wanted
the
to say,
weekly.
because I view it as a cup and handle, but
Yeah.
obviously it's not really the classic cup and handle.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's a good break though.
That's a really good point,
It's
because
a nice idea of the momentum change, because anchor view up shows the buyers and sellers, the average. So once it breaks out of it and holds for a while, you can see the squeeze coming.
Yeah.
And I like the way you say that, Holy, and I think we all can learn something from that. He's saying he considers it a cup and handle, but he understands that it's not the true cup and handle as described by William O'Neill. So the person who coined cup and handle is William O'Neill, and he has a true definition of what exactly a cup and handle should be. Now, somebody may have coined trend break and base break, but what I'm explaining is how I do base breakouts and how we do trend breaks and yada, yada, yada. Everything here you make your own. This is all discretionary. I'm not going to come over there and click your buy and click your sell. You're going to do that. So whatever you do or whatever you say, stick to it. Have conformity in your trading, and it'll take you far. So he considers that a cup and handle, as to where William O'Neill would probably smack him on the hand. But it doesn't matter, because William O'Neill's not trading for him. So keep that in mind, guys. I really like the way you put that there. Knowing that it's not the true cup and handle, but that's what you call it, because that's exactly what it looks like. That's a cup.
This really reminds me of back in the day when we used to short gaps.
Yeah.
And then you show them at the open, you wait the entire day, it doesn't fade, it holds and holds and holds and holds. Then it breaks through the view up, which means all the shorts are losing money.
Yeah, they're underwater.
Then it holds a little bit, accumulates, and then squeezes from there.
Yes,
Takes
sir.
everybody's top.
And that's the small cap stocks. Yep, the small cap
So the
stocks.
idea really comes from there, I guess.
Yeah, I like it.
SINT did the same intraday, both today and yesterday. Intraday did the same
Intraday,
zombie
okay.
hour cup and handle type of idea.
Sure. So here's the 5 minute. Yeah, nice cup.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice.
So it broke above it, consolidated, and then kept squeezing into the 20 cents. You see how it broke above it, consolidated, how it goes?
Anchored VWAP,
Exactly.
it gets stuck, and then it breaks above anchored VWAP, comes back, retests, and then pushes higher. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's exactly how I traded it. I wish
really?
I did
Did you trade
yesterday,
that? Good
though.
for you, man. Good for you.
Yeah.
Love to hear it. All right, cool, guys. I think we're all learning a little something today. Adam had to take off. Damn. Well, Adam, I know you can't hear me now, but I know you're going to listen to this later. Appreciate you, brother. You're awesome. Dan Bob, it says, oh, hang on. Sorry. Predator says AWAP is something a few of us had different issues with. Yeah. and Dan Bob says you are the issue. Oh, shit. No, we're definitely going to be going over, we're going to go over a whole thing of anchored VWAP, just like we did with the trend break strategy yesterday. That was really popular. You guys seem to really like it. I really enjoy doing it too. So we're definitely going to do those. Like I think every Tuesday we'll do something new when it comes to learning. We did trend break, we'll do base break, we'll do anchored VWAP, we'll do Christian Quilamagi's breakout style strategies. We'll do strategy on short sale trades. We'll dive deeper into the William O'Neill's way of investing, the IBD way. Yeah, we'll learn a little bit of everything, and we'll also read books in here. You guys seem to like that, where we just dedicate 20 to 30 minutes just to reading some psychology books to help us understand our trading and all that good stuff. So we are bearing in to the last 15 minutes of this session, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up to you. Now this will be whatever stock that you want. It doesn't have to be a base breakout or a trend breakout. If you have any question on any stock, the best thing I can do is give you my iteration on it, what I think using technical analysis. I'm not going to dive deep into the fundamentals, but if you have any questions, I know that I think it was Night Owl was asking about PFE yesterday, and we were talking about how, yes, it's under a 200-day moving average, and yes, it is, it is at its low, but it is creating new higher lows, and it's above all of these moving averages, and the moving averages are starting to form this 10, 21, 30, and 50, and they're starting to trend to the north side, which makes it look very, very constructive. And now look, today, another push higher. We're starting to see a lot of the healthcare technology stocks start to do very well. Which I think, what's the ETF for healthcare and technology? I could just bring that up really quick. Let's see here. Sector ETF. I think it was, what is it? XLC, that's communication. XLV is healthcare. There we go. So let's go to the daily and just see where healthcare actually sits. So if we look at healthcare, guys, we can see it's almost back to its all-time high, which we know that PFE is in that healthcare sector, and it's been beaten down for quite some time now. So this might be a nice trade idea, and you can see earnings has already passed. They've beat their expected earnings, and we're seeing this thing start to push up. So now this might be the start of the next stage, where this here was your stage 1, and then this is going to be your stage 2 here, right? So that could be. I'm not saying that it is, but we have our base here. Maybe this is our second new higher low. Now, you guys know I like to see 3 before I consider it a new trend, but this is looking very, very good. So if you guys, what else you guys got? You guys got anything for me? Anything you want me to take a look at? If not, I might call it an early night. All right. Well, that's great. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and hit this stop recording button, but I want you to know if you're watching this at a later time, hit that like, hit that subscribe button here. We're here every single day, guys, except for on the weekends. That's family time, baby. So make sure if you're watching this, if you learned anything, if you enjoy this, if you found it entertaining at all, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Join our Discord. It's absolutely free. You'll never hear me ask of any money from you. If you get a message or anything of me asking for money, you know to block that person. He is a scammer, okay? It's not me, okay? Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Make sure you're using risk management. We are risk on, baby. We are still in a bull market. That was just a simple pullback, guys. That's what's going to happen in these markets, but that's what we're here to keep you calm, cool, and collected. Revert back to the mean always, and stay cool, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me.